God knows you. Pastor Jude had been a pastor for 25 years. Having graduated from Bible seminary at 23, he went straight into the Lord's service, becoming the youngest pastor in his denomination. Now, as a senior pastor with over 2,000 members, Pastor Jude loved his life in church. He loved the way everybody respected him and adored his family. But Pastor Jude also loved the secret life he had, a life he had successfully kept away from his family and the church. He loved the feeling of freedom he got anytime he drove off at night to clubs. He would drink and party all night with reckless abandon. To avoid being known, he never visited one club twice, and he never made friends. Sitting at a club one evening, Pastor Jude spotted a very beautiful lady sitting at the corner. On walking up to the lady, Pastor Jude couldn't help but imagine the immense pleasure he could get from being with her that night. Quickly, he had booked a room in the club. As he stood, widely undressing with the lady on the bed, smiling at him, his phone rang. On seeing that it was his wife calling, he reluctantly picked up the phone and ran into the toilet to pick the call. He quickly dispatched his wife with a lie about his whereabouts. On stepping back to the room, however, the lady was nowhere to be found. In her place on the bed was a tract with a bold scripture on the front page, 2 Timothy 2:19. Pastor Jude was stunned. He knew the scripture by heart. As he recited the scripture involuntarily in his mind, this part read with a very heavy bang on his heart. The Lord knows those who are his. Crestfallen and brought to his senses, Pastor Jude ran out frantically into his car with tears in his eyes, afraid that God's judgment was about to fall on him. Realizing he still had the tract with him, he turned to the second page and read the contents of the devotion of a man who was taking a life-saving drug that night, right there in his car, with endless tears streaming down his cheeks. Pastor Jude humbled himself before God, confessed his sins, and asked Jesus to come into his heart. The next Sunday morning, with angelic peace and joy clearly visible in his eyes, everyone wondered what vision the amazing pastor had seen. They were, however, all surprised when, on stepping on the altar to give his sermon, Pastor Jude declared, "Up until 2 days ago, I was an adulterer, and Friday night, God encountered me and I became born again. I am now a Christian."